If we click on the Run button, it starts working, running reports. Takes time because they undergo processing, which varies based on report specifications. For instance, generating a report for one student differs from generating one for all students in a class. If I have 30 or 40 students, the process is different from just one student. The report here is for a single student. Selecting a student means only that student is included. This is one report type. Others allow selecting all or a few students. You can choose the number of students and the time period for the report. When you have many students, generating a report for them is different from just one. This report is an overview of one student. There are reports for all or a few students. Choose how many students to include. Select the student and time period. Include start and end dates. Generate reports weekly or for a specific day. You can specify all the students or 2 or 3 students to include in the report. Here, you have the student and the time period to generate the report. The reports can be about that student for the specified time period, including the start date and end date. Generate reports for that student in the first week, the second week, or the third week, or specify a time period for just one day. If a student says, I submitted the assignment on August 29th, generate a report for that student on August 29th to verify submission. Aside from the grading center confirming submission, the report here, so you can generate a report for the student for just one day. For example, the student might say, I submitted the assignment on August 29th, so you can create a report for that student on August 29th and see if the student actually submitted it. Of course, aside from the grading center, which is the most important because it confirms whether the student submitted the attempt or not, at the same time, the report here, when you make reports for this day, you may make reports for August 29th and find that the student had no activity that day at all, meaning that he did not log into the Blackboard system on August 29th. So the reports will show something like this. So, as you can see, we have now set the time period. We specify the start date and end date, and then we click on Submit to tell the system that we want the report for student 5 on the 13th of Safar, 45. Of course, it will then say, please wait a moment. Why? Because we need to wait as we are processing your request to generate the report. As you can see, the report here, and you can see the reports here. We're generating the report for student 5 on the 13th of Safar 45. Of course, it will say, please wait a moment. Why? Because we need to wait as we are processing your request to generate the report. So, as you can see, the report here shows, and what do you see? The reports here. The report shows that no student activity was recorded according to the day we specified, which is today's date, 8/29. Of course, I am asking you, okay, you will notice that this report, it shows me the student's name, the course name, and the date range. This report was for what day? It was for August 29th, and there was no activity for the student. Even if you look down here, it also shows that the student has no time spent in the course, meaning the student didn't even log into the course for a single minute. As you can see, everything is 0. The student's login record also indicates the last login date. For example, this student logged in and logged out immediately and has no activity in the course. The last time they logged into the course was at 9:05 in the year 44 at 8:21. The student's login also shows the last login date. For example, this student logged in and logged out immediately and has no activity in the course. The last time they logged into the course was at 9:05 in the year 44 at 8:21. So this is the format of the report that appears in front of you. As you can see, you can access the report again, meaning we can go back to the report 44:08 Lars AM, 21 minutes F. So this is the format of the report that appears in front of you. This report is designed to provide you with a comprehensive overview of the data presented. As you can see, you can access the report again, meaning you can go back to the report. It is important to note that You have the ability to revisit and review the report at any time. You can handle these reports. For example, we have reports for one student, but also for all user activities. Running this shows report specifications we can clarify or display. It asks for report type, PDF, HTML, Excel, or Word. PDF and Excel are the most suitable. It asks for report start and end dates, which you determine. You can select all users. I selected all students. It asks for report type, PDF, HTML, Excel, or Word. PDF and Excel suit your needs. Determine report, dates, specify users from the keyboard. It says users instead of students because anyone using the course could be a student, teacher, or coordinator based on their role. But here, you'll notice it asks when to start and end the report. You can select all users to choose all users. You can see that I have selected all the students. It said users instead of students. Why? Because anyone using the course could be a student, teacher, or coordinator, depending on their role or permissions. So it could be a student, teacher, supervisor, coordinator, or anyone else, depending on their role. So we have students, teachers, and supervisors here. Select all using the control key or click student 5, hold control, and keep clicking to select. You might select 2 or 3 students. If you notice, he said to users, but he didn't say specify students. Why? Because the person who uses the course could be a student, a teacher, or a moderator. It depends on the role, authority, or role assigned to him or specified to him. That is, he could be a student, a teacher, a supervisor, a moderator, or whatever the role is that he has taken. So we have the students, the teacher, and the supervisor all here. You can select all of them by using the control key on the keyboard, or you can click on student 5, hold down the control key, and keep clicking with the mouse to select. You might select 3 students, 2 students, just 1 student, or all the students as needed. In the previous report, we had to select just 1 student, but now we can select 2 students or all of them and say send. Then it will start processing, and this processing takes time. The time depends on the reporting period specified and the number of students. If we are generating a report for just 1 student, the processing won't take long, but if we are generating a report for 20, 30, or 40 students, it will take longer. So we can select one of the students or all the students, depending on what we need. In the previous report, we had to specify just 1 student, but now we can select, for example, 2 students or all of them and say send. Then it will start processing, and this processing takes time. The time depends on the reporting period specified and the number of students. Generating a report for 1 student is quick, unlike for 20 or more. A short period report differs from a month or semester report, which takes longer. Just wait for the system to process and display the report. For a student, over a short period, like a day or two, it's different from when we open the time frame and say, hey system, we want a report for a month, a week, or a semester. That will take a bit longer. So in this case, don't worry at all. Just wait a little while for the system to process our request. And it just starts to appear. The report indeed appears. Okay, until the processing is simply completed. So I will actually get back to you. I'm back with you, and I welcome Dr. Intisar and Dr. Mohanad, who are with us while the report is being processed. I'm also returning to you in case you have any questions. I don't know if you all uh, started with us or joined us later, and if you saw the part about the report when I first started it or not, but we are. Okay, okay. All right, now as you can see, we will clarify the report again just so we don't lose those who were following along with us. Here, we will click on something called Download Report so that it starts opening a PDF file that shows us everything. You will notice that it lists the students or users in general that we selected. The report will appear in the format you see, but I advise you that if you are creating a report like this, usually you won't be asked for this specific part of the report. However, it's better in this type of report to choose the Excel format, as Excel will be more suitable. So, Dr. Intisar, is the image clear for you now? Is everything clear? And the report will look like what you see here, as you can clearly see. However, I strongly recommend that if you're creating a report like this, in most cases, you won't be asked for this particular part of the report. But generally speaking, It's better in this specific type of report for you to opt for the Excel format, as it will be more appropriate and suitable. So, Dr. Intisar, is the image clear for you now? Could you please confirm if the image is clear enough for your analysis and understanding, Dr. Intisar?